Coming up, we'll tell you why hundreds are without water tonight in Harlan County.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. More than 300 people are without water in an eastern Kentucky county after a dry couple of weeks have left their reserves low and pipes strained. WYMT's Keaton Hall is near Everts with more.
Crews are rushing to patch water pipe leaks in Harlan County as hundreds are left without water near Everts.
We've got to get water built up so much because when we turn the pumps on to go elsewhere, we can get ourselves back to square one. So we've got to get our tanks built up enough to where it won't hurt.
Even with fields crews working overtime, refilling the system can't be rushed.
And I imagine that this will probably, in all honesty, probably continue on in to Thursday or Friday before people's got water everywhere.
The Yoakum and Clover Fork volunteer fire departments have turned into temporary water donation centers.
They had contacted and let us know there was a water issue if we was going to be available to distribute water. I told them absolutely. So they sent the water and we come up and we've been working ever since.
Canterbury himself without water.
Personally, I didn't even realize how unprepared we was when I come home to take care of my animals outside. We have 4 dogs and looked and their buckets are empty.
On Monday alone, Canterbury said they had given water to nearly 100 families.
It is going to be a process, and we do ask for people's continued patience, and we appreciate it. Not only patience, prayers help us find this, get this thing fixed.
Folks can get water on Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Clover Fork Fire Department. In Harlan County, Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
Both Black Mountain and North Everts Elementary are affected by the water outages, but Fields does not believe it will affect school hours. Money and movement forward. That was the message from Governor Andy Beshear today when he visited the Mountain Arts Center in Prestonsburg with 2 special announcements. A more than $4.1 million investment in the Dawkins Line Rail Trail was the first one, and the planned completion of the Mountain Parkway expansion was the second. The last leg of that project will connect Syersville and Prestonsburg, but will be completed as a brand new road to keep the traffic flowing as construction kicks off.
With the decision we just made, you're going to continue to be able to use it in its current form. You're not going to have long delays. You're not going to have major parts shut down. You can still travel that route while we build this new 4-lane highway.
Governor Beshear says the road completion is about connecting the region while also considering the folks who live and work here. Nearly 2 months following the historic flood that damaged several schools in Knott County, many students there are finally back in the classroom. The district's original start date was August 10th, with the devastation making that goal impossible. But now students, faculty, and staff are together once again, aiming to have a happy, healthy, and normal school year.
The past week has been crazy. Teachers and staff members have been in here from sunup till sundown. So I think to finally be here today, to see the kids coming into the building definitely makes all this hard work worth it.
Knott County School Superintendent Brent Hoover says the return to school has given many students, faculty, and staff a sense of relief following weeks of uncertainty. Governor Beshear was also in Knott County today presenting flood relief checks and says he believes the flood caused more than $1 billion in damages across eastern Kentucky. We are just days away from the official fall season, meaning it's almost pumpkin time. This past weekend was the grand opening of Middle Springs Farm in Paris, Kentucky, and the owners say they are excited to see more people come out this fall with a great-looking crop. They have a wide selection of pumpkins of all shapes and sizes, but they also have a sunflower field, corn maze, and you can pick your own flowers.
We're definitely hoping to see some big crowds, especially as it starts feeling more like fall weather instead of that hot summer weather we had this weekend. But we had a pretty good showing. We were pretty excited about it.
Middle Springs Farm is open on the weekends and on Fridays from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. On Sundays, they're open from noon till 6.
Well, I've already had my first pumpkin spice drink of the season, and a few more await, especially as we watch some cooler weather move into the region for parts of the week. Not quite yet, though. Downtown Whitesburg at this hour, though, all is quiet as you'd expect at 5 after 11. Temperatures are cooling down, but not quite fast enough. Some ground clutter on Pinpoint Doppler. Nothing much in terms of anything actually falling at this point. You got to go up toward Pittsburgh before you run into any of that. But we're going to be on this warm side until that front gets through here a little bit later on tomorrow. We're still in the upper 60s and low 70s around the region, even a few mid-70s not out of the question as you head toward places like Pikeville and Prestonsburg at this hour. So into tonight, middle 60s. Many of us stay clear, but we'll watch a few of those spotty showers as we head into the overnight. I don't have the details, though, on when we warm up big time and then cool down big time as well. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Evan, thanks. COVID-19 cases are dropping nationally, but still pretty high in eastern Kentucky. The region is still in the red, signaling it's a high-risk area for COVID. Despite the high numbers, a lot of schools and businesses have been lenient on masking, which Cumberland Valley District Public Health Director Christy Green says is okay as the region continues learning how to live with the virus.
There are improved treatments, so we're seeing fewer people with severe illness. We're seeing fewer people dying from it. So we really are learning to live with COVID.
Green says despite the relaxing guidelines, communities should still be cautious. A fire destroyed a Wayne County, West Virginia restaurant last night. Dispatchers say the fire started a little before 8 at West Virginia Pizza Company. That's along Route 152 just south of Huntington. There were no injuries in the fire, and we still don't know the cause. Connie Twill lives next door to the pizza company and says she felt helpless as she watched the fire roar inches away from her yard.
I can't even explain it. I was so upset, scared. I shook all night. We stayed up on and off just to see if it comes back on fire. But I was so upset. I called 911 over and over and Lavallette. It was just crazy.
Twill says she is heartbroken for the owners. They had owned the restaurant for 8 years. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, Hurricane Fiona continues to unleash heavy rain and cause damage to communities in its path.
Plus, I've got the latest on how long the heat lasts and when we could see the return of showers. Straight ahead.
Here